Hey, Taurus fam, tag you're it. What are the vibes you have to look forward to in May of 2025? Now, I've already shuffled, I've already laid them out, but they're face down, so we'll see them together. And I can tell you from while the glimpses of cards I was seeing while I was shuffling, I was seeing cards like the Tower, the Two of Swords. So something tells me that you have a lot of big changes going on in May of 2025. And it may be difficult at times to make those decisions, okay? Just trust yourself. You know what to do. You know how to handle things accordingly, don't you? Let's get into it. Okie dokie. So, like I said, I've already pre-shuffled. They're already laid out, but I got them face down so we can discover this reading, this tale together. I like to think of tarot and such as like a story, and each of the cards, the way I lay them out, is its own chapter. Sometimes they work together. Sometimes I'm like, whoa, what? That's how it would be. But we're going to begin with the archetypes. So we have the Judge and the Comic. Now, the way I'm seeing them, they're kind of, I gotta remember like directions and angles on camera. For me, they're both going to my right when I'm looking at them. Like the top of the, the numbers at the top are turned to the right, which to me speaks of the future. Heading into the future and stuff like that. So we have trajectory going on, right? And that's good because it means you're not stuck in the past. You're not even stuck in the present, whatever the heck. But when we see the Judge card, I like that these two came up, the Comic and the Judge. Are you kidding me? I love that these two came up together, because the question with the Judge is, what kind of ruler would you be? What kind of judge would you be if you had that kind of power to make choices for people in their lives and their consequences and whatnot? Some are very cruel. They're corrupt. And most, I would like to think, get into things like that because they want to help people. They want to be a part of a good system. You know what I mean? They want to do their part to make sure that the streets are safe, whatever that means, and all of that, right? The question is kind of like with royalty. What kind of ruler would you be? Would you be benevolent or, And with the Comic speaks of people who kind of are underestimated, where people make a lot of assumptions about you because, like lowbrow and stuff like that. Like maybe you make a lot of, the word nasty keeps coming to me. Who's nasty? Nasty. Right? Like some kind of jokes that, may not fly well with others. But the thing is, when you think of like comics, the comics that I've known when in person, they tend to be a bit more quiet than you would expect. They tend to be extremely observant. Nothing's getting past them, right? They're hopefully really good at, catching the vibe of the room and helping to balance it, right? I've said before, like when you watch an hour special or whatever the heck, whether it's on Netflix or anything, most of the time comedians have a tendency to they win you over and they get you laughing and chuckling, and then they hit you with the serious stuff, right? They get you in the feels and deep within. That's the kind of crap I'm talking about. So that's what I mean. I really like that these two came up together because there's a lot of power in that. Like, where's the line, right? Between making a comment and just simply jamming your foot in your mouth, right? What's on the bottom of that deck? The Mask. And for me, it's kind of tilting to the left, isn't it? A wee bit. So, what mask are you wearing, friend? Are you allowing people to get to know you? Are you allowing yourself to open up? I understand that, we can show different sides of ourselves to people. I'm autistic. So to me, like what you see, well, no, not what you see. People tend to make so many incorrect assumptions about me, but like, the way I am with anyone is how I'm going to be with anyone. I may not swear in front of your parents. You know what I mean? Like, I got manners. usually, but I'm me, right? And even I'm exhausted. You know what I mean? So when I think about there's masking and such, and that in and of itself is exhausting. And if you're diagnosed in your adulthood, then like, wow, how do you take off a mask that you didn't even know you were wearing? Maybe that's coming up, out of my mouth for a reason. Maybe you haven't even realized what you've been doing, right? And yeah, let's move on to the Believe in Your Own Magic Oracle deck, shall we? We have Gray, Endings Are Inevitable, and Mirror, treat your body like the palace it is. I feel like we just saw this one in a general reading recently. And I feel like that's something a lot of us have been needing to be told, needing to be reminded of. Your body is one of the very, very few constants in your entire life. May you have that autonomy, and may you be able to be comfortable in your own skin, right? Yeah, I feel like this Gray card is really confirming the changes that are happening and the struggle to either accept or move on and make choices that enable that trajectory that I mentioned, right? What's on the bottom of that deck? Garden. Something lovely will grow from this. Yeah. This is just a new beginning, and you can have as many new beginnings as you want. This is your life, okay? Take the pressure off your shoulders. I feel like that's the main gist that I've been trying to also remind myself on. You know what I mean? I'm right here with you, fam. My moon is in Taurus. Hey, like, just take that pressure off your shoulders. Even if you got goals, even if you got plans, take the pressure off your shoulders. Do your thing. You've got this. Trust yourself. Learn how. It may take time, but you're worth it. Let's see if we can get some clarification with the tarot cards. How about that? Chapter 1 is the Six of Pentacles. See, the thing about this is this person even has a scale in their hands. Balance. It isn't give and take. It's not supposed to be. It's give and receive. What is one of the things that they say with the servant and the person? Like, they're both on the same level. Even though this person is handing them seemingly coins, they're all equals. You know what I mean? It can feel so good to be able to give people gifts, to be able to do things for people. And when you receive, it can be really difficult for some of us to accept, right? To feel worthy what if we have nothing to give? Like, so many people feel like they have to give something back. You know what I mean? And we forget that giving feels good, and that is their gift in that moment. So it's more the pay it forward. We're not at Starbucks. We're not in line somewhere. I don't go to Starbucks anymore. But you know what I mean? We're not in line in a store or a freaking fast food joint, right? This is life we're talking about. So when you have the chance to help others, to be there for others, to support others, to gift, that's when you pay it forward, right? And you feel good sharing something with somebody else, right? Don't guilt trip yourself if you're ever in the position where you need help. May you have people in your life who can help provide that balance with you, that giving and receiving. Moving on to chapter 2. It's the Queen of Wands. See, the thing about getting to this point in this suit is you're basically a phoenix rising from the ashes. They've done the trial and error. They have that courage, that there's creativity and passion, but there's also courage, right? And this is the Witch of the Tarot. This, as far as I'm concerned, she is on par with the Magician. You are powerful. Do you even realize how powerful you are? Either way, whether this is representing you or not, maybe this is someone in your life who's really coming in to help, and maybe this is what you need to remember and embody. You need to tap into that kind of energy, like, oh, I know what I'm doing, right? Because I feel like there's a struggle with letting something go, right? And believing in yourself. And this is just a reminder, fam. I'm just going to fluff you up a bit. Just fluff you up and send you on your way, all happy and everything, because you should be happy as far as I'm concerned. Chapter 3 is the Queen of Cups. Wow. This is emotional intelligence on top of all of that nurturing and compassion, being able to feel and flow with life without getting lost in the sauce, being able to be there for people without getting lost in it. You are very empathetic, and may you also be able to feel and process and move on, right? It becomes a part of us, right? That pain, anything like that, those lessons learned and stuff like that, the emotions and pain and whatever of it can stay in the past. We talk about this a lot here, because we're human. And this is a lovely balance between love and compassion and nurturing and that courage, that fire within to rise again. Chapter 4. This is some dark night of the soul energy going on here. We have that black, dark night at the top of the card. But in the middle of the card, toward the bottom, toward the body, is here comes the sun. Do, 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 do. This is the end of a very painful cycle. But my dear Taurus, at least one of these swords is self-inflicted. At least one. They're wearing red, which speaks of passion, but also our hearts, our lifeblood, right? And is that orange and stuff, which I want to say speaks of like that consciousness, being consciously aware of what's going on and things. And maybe you haven't always known what to do. This is someone who has a tendency to take the hit, take the fall, and be like, okay, yeah, you know what? Okay, fine. Yeah, I can, okay, whatever. You go ahead. Don't worry about me. 'Tis but a flesh wound. You don't deserve that. You don't deserve that. And this painful cycle can end, all right? Just let it go. Bye-bye. See you never again, right? This is a time, like, this person isn't down for the count. They're not actually done. They just need a moment. You know what I mean? What's coming up underneath the Six of Pentacles? We're going to all like see how this all ties together in the end. So don't mind me as I skirt along. Underneath the Six of the Pentacles is a 5. That's the 5 of Wands. This can speak of conflict, but it also speaks of things like healthy competition, right? Maybe you work in a very competitive industry and you may be catching yourself kind of comparing yourself to others. There's that phrase like never meet your idols, and I call bullshit. How about us human beings stop having idols? Because even your idols poop, okay? They probably would not do very well living your life because it's not theirs. You know what I mean? They are doing their own thing, right? And so are you. You belong in every single room you walk into, right? This can be healthy competition. Get your ego out of the way. For all you know, you inspire them. You make them feel like they need to bring their A game, right? Stop beating yourself up. Please. Moving on, underneath the Queen of Wands is the Six of Swords. That is 2 6s. Yes. Yes. Interesting. This, swords are the mind. They're air and the mind. And with this one, you know, are those people, you know, that can represent the two in the boat? Or are those parts of you that you need to take care of? Your inner child, that ability to nurture, but maybe with all these choppy waters and all of this pain, you've kind of regressed into yourself and you just haven't been that vibrant, helpful, compassionate. And I mean, you still are, but you're not sharing it, or you haven't been sharing it, right? That's coming up underneath the Queen of Wands. So to me, that's really emphasizing that trial by fire, that evolution, and moving on and rising above to the calmer waters, the calmer peace of mind, right? Being like, if you're working with like energy and stuff like that, you need to have some form of self-control. You need to have your wits about you, right? People doing that kind of shit without are scary because they don't have a line, right? There's no line that they won't cross. You have lines. And I feel like this like tethering has been going on, right? And it's time to release, you know? What's coming up underneath the Queen of Cups? It's the Knight of Wands. Oh, there's some good wand action happening in this. This Knight, this is one of the fastest knights in the deck. Second to the fastest, if I'm not mistaken. And all of that fiery passion, all of that determination, and everything. This could be a message coming in, like the knights are sent out on a quest and they're bringing back whatever the heck they were sent out for. So whether we're talking about manifestations or you know, like whatever, just don't be too hasty. Don't just freight train things. Either way, they say that this night it ends up working out. You know, like it just kind of works out. You know what I mean? Just, you know, but it's one, so there's that fiery passion, that creative, that creation, right? But you have a message coming right on in. And the card that is underneath the Ten of Swords, it's the 1111 card, fam. That's the Four of Wands. This is a card of celebration. What are they celebrating? Is it a wedding? Graduation? What's going on here? Are they moving? Is it a new home? It's probably tied into creativity and passion and, you know, this is community, having people to celebrate with, not unlike the Three of Cups, right? I think that's a pretty darn good card to come up underneath the Ten of Swords, if you ask me. That's balance being restored in a way. You know what I mean? Maybe a little bit of I don't know. Final Fantasy, anyone? No one? Okay, whatever. Moving on. The epilogue to this tale is the Ace of Pentacles. After all this, after everything, the idea with these cards is that is a gift from the divine, whatever that means for you, right? That is a gift of, like, think of pentacles. It's, yeah, a lot of times it speaks of wealth and money, but it's the earth. The earth is everything. We're the earth, man. Yeah. But you know, like astrological signs with Taurus, not just our bodies. It's new seeds. It's like, yay, now that you got this out of the way, all of that experience, all of that pain that has been a part of your evolution, a part of your growth, your soul, your mind, and you've survived. You're still here. That means you still have options as a human, and may you have access to all of them, fam. So says me, right? This is, hope you got space for a new garden and all these new seeds to plant, because now you've reached a point in your journey that it's time for them. It's time to move on to bigger and better. New things for you to focus on, to put your energy into, right? Whether it's a new business or family, like whatever. When we think of like pentacles, like the 10 of Pentacles, if we're talking about the completion of a cycle, that's like your legacy. That's not just you had a good harvest and it was a great payday, you got a nice bonus. That's your legacy. That's your grandkids being okay. You know what I mean? And this is speaking of a new beginning coming in. The end of a painful cycle and a very prosperous new beginning. These seeds are, that's like a very good beginning for prosperity and all this growth and stuff, right? The worst is behind you, right? What's on the bottom of the tarot? The Hermit. That's a lot of soul searching. It's also a 9. This is the Virgo card. There's no other major arcana. This is the only major arcana in this reading. Huh. It doesn't happen too often with me. This person has left everything behind. At least for a moment. You know what I mean? All the noise of the world and everybody else's thoughts and opinions. And they went up on the mountain to soul search, to figure themselves out. If you're going to be isolating yourself, put in the work while you're at it, right? Heal. This is currently, because this, to me, the bottom of the deck is the main gist, the main vibe of the reading, or whatever cards I draw from that deck, right? This has been a time of healing. What I want to ask you, though, is, has it been long enough? Is that enough? They are led, if you look inside, I don't know how well it's coming up right now. If you look inside that lantern, they're being led by the star. That's that inner light within you, fam. That inner flame. Your hopes and dreams, you. Not somebody else's opinion. Not somebody else telling you what you should do, myself included, fam. You. Because what's within you is what you need the most. Okay? What are... Whoop, whoop, whoop. Move, crystals, dang. What are the positive vibes to share with the Taurus fan today? My goodness gracious, I just fumble all over the place, you know? What are the positive vibes to share with Taurus fan for May of 2025? What are the extra notes for that? This one apparently wanted to come play, so let's start with them. Lit a fire on your ass, didn't it? Yeah, 10 cards, 1, 2, 3, 4 of them are ones. One is the Queen, and another is the Knight, and don't forget about that beautiful 4. But you know what we have going on here? We have 4, 5, 6, and 2 6s. 4, 5, 6. We have 2 4s, because Mirror is a 4. I mean, we also have 14 and 26, so that could be 3 6s, which is actually a very powerful protective number. So, interesting. We also have put away your laundry before judging. Okay, thanks. Who's been giving you crap that has no room to talk? Is it you? No, I'm just kidding. Because they need to calm down. All right? Have you already had your tower moment? Is that what's going on here? You've already had your tower moment and you're just trying to figure out where do we go from here? Like it's the Buffy musical or something? My goodness. On the bottom, we have Tell the Mirror. Someone's really been... Has someone really been getting into, like, lighting and just really giving you a hard time about something? Because I don't feel like it's the people that this reading is for, that's their mouth is getting, I'm just yapping away. I don't feel like that's the case. I feel like somebody else, like ultimately, I don't want anyone to speak unkindly to themselves when they look in the mirror and they're doing affirmations and stuff, right? I want you to flip that shit and alchemize, right? Whoever it is needs to calm the fuck down, because you don't deserve that. But maybe tell the mirrors on the bottom, because you need to get comfortable with yourself once and for all. It's your right and privilege. You exist. I haven't said it to my YouTube fam in a while, but you got approval to exist upon birth, okay? Anyone else trying to tell you differently, just take it to the mirror. But you know what I mean? Like, I'm seeing someone here who has gone through a lot and has taken it on the chin a lot. And you deserve to thrive. And May of 2025 is full of enabling for you to thrive, to soar, to figure it out. You are one smart cookie. You notice more than most. I see you, right? You pick up what people are dropping that others just... So trust yourself and you keep it up. You have your trajectory going. You keep it up. Consistency, right? Consistency. The thing about Pentacles is, the best thing about them is that slow and steady daily progress. As long as you're continuing to do that and make those adjustments and such as needed, and you'll know when they're needed. Trust that. You're doing it right. Okay? Oh, fam, look at you. You got this. Yeah. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate the company. Oh, fam. And always remember, I believe in you.